Carter's got a few key levels on some of these names. Carter, so why don't you head on over to the plaza and show us?
And Citi is going to come out as best pick over here, except for one, which is so bad that I think it is fantastic. Here we go. The index, 24 stocks, total market cap 1.5 trillion. The top four names are 68% of the index, and here they are. It's the who's who, and all of them are reporting this week. Let's look at them one at a time. And the reference point I'm using is the peak for global equities in January of 2018. So JP Morgan keeps trying to break out. My hunch is that it won't really break out and won't really sort of deteriorate, and that it's just stuck. So here is a fallow circumstance, and I think it's not so interesting. Not bad, not good, just belongs there. Now, Bank of America, as we can see, has never quite gotten to the high, and I think that's the opportunity, a little bit of a catch-up potential with JP Morgan. Next, of course, is Citi, which has, Wells, which is this so bad it's good? Hold this thought. I don't think it's so bad it's good because it never quite got all the way down to its 2016 low. So not so interested here. Citibank is the one with Bank of America, sort of these two, which I think will ultimately make a run for their highs and play catch up with JP Morgan. But then look at sort of the worst of all. And this one I do believe is so bad it's good. State Street, it is right at this low, and it is held 3 times. It held again. Now look at the day-to-day chart and look at this trend line. It has literally failed at this line over and over and over and over and over. And guess what it just did? It just broke out. That's a major development. It's a head and shoulders bottom. It's a favorite, so bad it's good. And just to juxtapose it against, look at the bifurcation with best in class, obviously different as a custody bank. I think this one and Citi are the ones to be most aggressive with on the long side.
Carter, come on back. You know, what Carter was effectively doing there was a game of would you rather. He's self-would you rather.
Is he allowed to do that now?
Yeah, come on. State Street. I mean, he just did. Of course, he's allowed.
He's fellow.
So maybe we should continue the game.
Let's and say, you know.
Oh, so I'll play the would you rather. Yeah. I'll go all day long with this. We can do a whole show.
Oh, really?
Of would you rather.
At least till 6.
We could
I would rather not do a whole show.
Well, that's your would you rather.
That's a lot of
my would you rather. And Carter State Street now. The double bottom he's talking about, that goes back to July 2016. So the duration is such where this is a meaningful double bottom. So against $51-ish, State Street, I think, looks fascinating at these levels. So playing the game correctly, I would rather State Street over JP Morgan.
So I would fade that, and I would actually trade Bank of America.
So
what about Citi? But you like Citi best.
I like Citi, but if you gave me money center bank, would you rather? And Bank of America is because I think we've talked about Citi and JPM. I just want to point out, of all the big money center banks, I think they have the most ability to cut costs in a regulatory environment that's very friendly to the banks. May not be this good for a long time from this point on. They are cutting costs and offsetting a lot of the weakness that we're seeing from net interest margins. Their capital give back program may be more aggressive than anybody's, and that's a reason why we are seeing institutions run into the big banks.
What game do you want to play? Because apparently it's.
So I'm going to pick one of the stocks that Carter spoke about. Wells Fargo. I'm going to pick the laggard. I'm going to pick the underperformer. I'm going to pick the underperformer. I think that one is ripe.
You crave Wells Fargo.
That one is ripe for a positioning issue where you have everyone in the bear camp waiting for this one to recover. Many people think it'll never recover. I think it's worth a couple of percentage points to the upside after they report.
That's like a quasi-pick-your-poison game, which we haven't created the graphics for yet.
But like a
skull, crossbones. I mean, no, but I think that's a fantastic. That could be a wonderful fast. Yes, especially as we go into the Halloween season.
What's the game with the bird? That doesn't make sense.
That's traded or faded, I think.
No, it's yield hunting.
I know, but there's one of them that makes no sense. They both sound the same.
It's shop it or drop it.
Shop it or drop
it.
I mean, they both sound.
I mean, a lot of them don't make sense.
What was the one with the panda?
Different show.